Two Great Shadows is a stage with no reward that only unlocks Jinfore Volcano stages 5 to 7. There are two other stages just like this, but for the Forest of Gupra and for Ashini Desert, though I will say this is the hardest stage of the three. So around the 10-second mark is when the boss spawns, called the Folivarian. In this stage, this guy is boosted to 200%, so he has insane stats with 2 million health. The Aku Sloth, like most of the behemoths, has a weird multi-hit mechanic where he hits 3 times. The first hit between 1 and 501 range, the second between 200 and 501 range, and the third between 350 and 501 range. The multi-hit attacks are so closely timed together though that most cats will only just take the standard 34,000 damage instead of the total 102,000 damage. Because this guy has such high range and not a long time between attacks, what I recommend doing is bringing long distance and wave units that can snipe him, as well as super backliners like Cyberpunk who can outright outrange and chip him down. That's probably the best way to kill him, is just eventual chipping with LD and just flat out outranging him. This guy alone wouldn't be too hard to manage, but sadly he has support from Dark Joe, another new enemy that's a behemoth and black enemy, with also 2 million health unfortunately. He's also slightly faster than the Folivarian and has 11 knockback counts compared to Folivarian's 2 knockback counts. Dark Joe has 250 range and a weird multi-hit mechanic that extends from 1 to 250 on the first hit, 1 to 300 on the second hit, and 1 to 350 on the third hit. Each of these hits does 9,300 damage, which isn't too bad, but it also comes with a 5% chance to perform a toxic attack that will wipe out half of your cat's HP along with the 9,300 damage it already does. This is very deadly, but also doesn't happen very commonly. So it's kind of like Aku Gori Savage Blow, where it's dangerous but uncommon, but if you get unlucky you could be screwed. So to counter both of these new enemies together, what I did is the loadout I've brought, and you can see here. Luckily, Dark Joe has less range than the Folivarian and isn't as dangerous in my opinion. I think the Dark Joe makes Folivarian a lot more dangerous, but once you kill him, it should be pretty easy. Pizza Cat with the wave talent can occasionally snipe Dark Joe because there are peons spammed throughout the stage, and if Pizza hits a wave off, the Dark Joe will take a ton of damage from it. Unfortunately, Dark Joe is freeze immune, so you can't bring Bomber Cat here. I also brought attackers like Fiend Cat because he can knock back the Folivarian, as well as snipe Dark Joe and the Folivarian. Because Dark Joe's multi-hit extends up to 350 range, you can see a lot of my attackers actually get outranged by Dark Joe in practice, or at least get hit by him once or twice. This is a very important thing to know. If your Pizza Cat is level 35 or above, he can tank one of Dark Joe's attacks, as long as it's not a toxic hit. So have Pizza at least level 35 plus. The stage is pretty hard, so I'd assume your units were at least that level or above, but that's a pretty big note. And even though Dark Joe is pretty dangerous, I found that a lot of sniping attackers can help deal with him, just LD and wave, because there are so many tanky peons like Wild Doge. The Surseals are pretty tanky in the stage, as well as those guys occasionally spawning. I was able to deal good chip damage, and as you see, I brought Mina and Ubu Run, two special legends that outrange Dark Joe. Now, of course, the Folivarian can kill them if they get too close, but if Dark Joe is in front of him, then they deal very good damage from a safe standing range, as well as killing any peons stuck behind them. They are very useful. What I tried to do was have at least one special legend unit on the field at all times to constantly help deal damage to Dark Joe. Because he has 11 knockback counts, he's knocked back easily, and from time to time you need to knock him back just so he doesn't, gain too much ground. Your special legends will probably die a couple times, but that's okay. You always want to have one on standby at least. And Fiend Cat Talented especially helps with this, because not only can Talented Fiend survive a hit from the Folivarian, but normal Fiend Cat can also just knock back Folivarian, which means he gets stuck behind Dark Joe again, and this is extremely helpful. And honestly, Fiend was one of the units that carried this stage, and I have a video all about him in the description if you want to go watch it. And after some time of doing this method, Dark Joe will die, and now, without an evil dragon duck defending him, Folivarian's pretty naked on his own, and you'll chip him down eventually, just like you did to Dark Joe, but except now it's way easier. So yeah, I hope this guide helped. If you have any questions, leave a comment, and make sure to bring a rich cat or you're probably done for. Alright, see ya.